The following is a pre-recorded show. Welcome to Winning in Retirement with your host, Brian Akers, certified financial planner professional and founder of Akers Financial Group. Now, helping you win in your retirement, here's Brian Akers.
Welcome to Winning in Retirement. I'm Brian Akers. Here with me today is Jeff Akers. I'm the president and founder of Akers Financial Group, and Jeff Akers is the vice president, certified financial planner of Akers Financial Group. And we welcome you to our show, Winning in Retirement, a radio podcast put on by our company, Akers Financial Group. All right, today's a big day, right, Jeff?
Oh, yes, it is.
What do you mean by that, Jeff?
Well, it's a special time of year. You know, we get to celebrate Independence Day every year when we get to July. So instead of the 4th of July, we like to talk about Independence Day, being independent.
Independent of what?
Well,
That's just a broad question, right?
Yeah, independent of someone else telling us what to do when it comes to our finances. You know, we spend our whole life working, and we have to work to pay our bills. Well, reaching that point where we don't have to work to pay our bills, we call that financial independence. But I might be getting a little ahead of ourselves.
Oh, you like getting ahead of yourself.
Yes.
It's like I give you my lines ahead of time, and you start using all my lines. It's tough for me to have anything to say after
Don't hate the player, just hate the game.
All right, so today's show is this. So our show is called Winning in Retirement. By planning your finances, you can't win in your retirement years if you don't plan. And so what we got to do is basically help you with the how to get to retirement and how to get into retirement. What if the word retirement scares you? That'd be a bad thing, wouldn't it?
Well, that would be a bad thing, but it does scare some people because it's a big change.
And let's say it does scare you. That's okay. We want you to declare your financial independence day.
Ooh.
So that means when you come in to talk to Akers Financial, let's call ourselves team of advisors, come and meet with us, and you talk with our group of financial planners. What happens is this. You're going to declare your financial independence day. You're going to plan for it. This is how Akers Financial can help you become financially independent. What that means to you is you basically work because you choose to, not because you have to. That is the key thing we got to try to talk about, Jeff, to try to explain is when you go to work today, was that because you have to get money from your job to pay your day-to-day bills? Mm-hmm. Or are you becoming financially independent where your savings, your pensions, the things you've earned has grown to a point where it can provide for you and your family the rest of your life?
Right. And one of the first questions that we ask whenever we meet someone is, when do you want to retire? And I know we use the word retire because that's what people are familiar with, but we're thinking about when do you want to be independent of work?
Yeah, and I like financial independence talk because the retirement actually scares people who love their job.
Well, yeah, because sometimes people, I've got some folks that they're financially independent. They don't have to work, but they love working. So they keep working.
When you work with folks, are they Southern people when you call them folks?
No, I've just got that Southern thing from when I lived in Texas, so I can't get rid of it.
No, what I think is interesting is that when you think about people and you think about their situation, there's this mentality of retirement that is scary. But if we make it financial independence, everybody's in on that. Because we want to be independent from our job and to know we're going to be okay. Mm-hmm. But that's nowhere near a normal American. That's an above average retirement saver. That's someone who lives within their means. That's someone who has saved for their future. They put money in and thrown it to their future. They've cared for a long time.
Yeah, there's a difference between waking up in the morning and saying, I'm going to work today because I choose to, right, or I'm going to work this morning because I have to. And we want you to reach that point where you can choose whether or not you're going to go to work.
Yeah, I try to apply it to myself sometimes. I think about, do I love my job? The answer is absolutely, because I've been doing it 37 years. The funny thing, in my own head, I think, I'm helping people who, they come in, they walk in, I've been here 30 years, I need to retire. And I'm like, I'm in year 37. I like this. I don't want to retire.
Right.
And I wish everyone loved their job like I do, and they look forward to it, and they just can't stop, you know. But the hardest part when it comes to everyone is the job is what you do. The job isn't you. It doesn't have to be who you are. That job can be something that helps accomplish goals, which is mainly jobs. But you got to make that money do what you want it to do, not let money control you.
You control the money.
Now, what do we mean by that?
Not let the money control you?
Yeah.
Well, that's the idea that you set up a plan. You don't say, okay, I've got this much money and that's what I can spend. You say, this is what I need to accomplish. Here's the income and here's how I'm going to accomplish these goals. It's kind of about that goal setting. So that you're not just wishy-washy going wherever the money goes.
Yeah, but when people are driving around listening to the show, they're thinking, I'm in such a deep hole. I've done all these bad decisions in the past. I can't become financially independent.
Well, and as long as you think that, you won't. But if you come and talk with us about developing a plan, there are ways you can dig out of the hole that you're in and then kind of get to the mountaintop where you can achieve financial independence. It'll look different for everyone.
Absolutely.
But you have to plan to do it.
Yeah, it's almost like, you're driving your car. Imagine that your destination is actually behind you. It's not, you're not going the right direction. So if you have that mindset that you're never going to accomplish retirement, I'll never be able to retire like you do, or I'll never enjoy my job, I'll never be able to pay off my bills, I'll never be able to do, and you use that word never all the time. What happens is you have to change your mindset. You got to turn around and you got to be more positive on things that I will retire someday. I'm going to set a retirement day at 67 or 70, or maybe you might not be able to do earlier, depending on the math of it all.
Right.
But you got to change the direction of your financial life. And that begins by having a first conversation, a talk about your financial fingerprint, where you are, and then doing the work it takes to be able for you to actually walk out the door, be retired, and know where that money is going to come from when you're retired.
Yeah, I liked your driving analogy, and it just made me think that we're like your GPS because we give you the directions to get to where you want to go.
Yeah, but you picked it. You actually plugged in where you want to go. Like you've picked retirement, you picked how retirement's going to look a little bit, and then we basically supply all the information along that path.
Yeah, but without a plan, you're just saying, well, I want to get there, but I have no idea what to go. And you just start driving down roads.
Or it's like taking a day off on Monday and you say, all right, we're going on vacation now. And you go in the car and you're like, all right, where are we going? And it's like, well, let's figure that out so we can know what to pack.
Right.
Because like, do we need a beach chair or do we need a blanket and hiking shoes? Like in Maryland, you can be somewhere in 3 hours. You can be at the beach, you can be at the mountains.
Yep.
You have a lot of choices.
Right. You can do almost anything. See some historical sites.
Yeah.
Oh.
Can't escape humidity though.
No, not in Maryland.
But what happens is this. Financial independence is what I want you to think about. Independence Day is a wonderful celebration for our country. But Independence Day, every time you say it, think about it. Oh, when's my Independence Day?
Right.
When am I going to have the financial ability to work because I choose to? I don't have to retire because I don't have to retire. I can choose when to retire. Now, what happens in reality of jobs? They come knocking on the door sometimes between 55 and 65 with larger companies, and they say, we'd like you to consider retiring early.
Right. And sometimes they'll even give you money to make you go.
Right. And if you're close or if you're financially independent, you call Acres Financial Group and you say, I got an offer today. And the first thing I say is it in writing?
Let's see it.
It's like a card game. Don't show your cards. Don't say you want out until we're ready.
Right.
Because you never want to show your cards like that.
Yeah.
But if they offer that package to you, let's take a look at it. Look at the numbers. See if it fits you. When someone's already done the work and they're ready, and they're working because they're financial independence, all of a sudden that comes in, it's like, all right.
Right. And you might be close financially, and the package that they offer you is that little bit that gets you over the hump.
Yeah, it might be the fact that I'm waiting to 65 because of health care. That might be the only reason that you want to keep working. And they make a certain offer that allows for that to be handled.
Right. You might be 64 and they say, we'll give you health care for another year. Okay.
Yeah, severance in a health care, and then you off of that in a year, but then they can bring the next person in or not bring someone in, which is what they've been doing with companies that we've seen.
Right.
This is happening around the area and around the country. Larger companies are scaling down certain things they do. Mm-hmm. There is a change in technology, a change in business and consumers. The economy is changing, and so careers change, and some careers end because they might not want to do that product or whatever that you do anymore.
Right. Now, we just talked about one end of it where the company comes and says, all right, we want you to retire. The other end of it I've seen is, someone says, okay, I'm going to retire. Here's my date. And they turn in their paperwork. And then the company actually says, can you give us 6 more months?
Yeah.
You can train your replacement.
Right.
And so then you've got another decision to make. Do I like it well enough to stay, or am I saying, no, I'm just going?
Yeah.
A lot of times people say, okay, I'll do 6 more months. I like getting the paycheck.
Yeah.
But you don't have to when you're financially independent.
The hardest part is when you have everything else planned and you go to quit and you're given like a month notice or something like that, and you don't want to undo those plans you just did.
Right. I'm going on a month-long cruise. I'm not.
Yeah, it's like, it's nice you want me to stay. The hardest part, though, is if you retire and then they wait a while and you start drawing Social Security and you're under your full retirement age, and all of a sudden you get the call back. That causes some financial issues.
Right. Yeah, you never know. But all kinds of things can happen with companies. Either they want you to retire or they don't want you to retire. But it's nice when the decision is yours, not theirs.
Yeah, absolutely. So what happens is this. You need to think about, when is your financial independence day? Have you thought about it? Have you done anything about it? Do you know what it means to you? Do you know what your numbers are? One of the things that we find with a lot of people is they have really never taken the time to look at where they are. Right. They have a gut feeling it's not what they want, so probably don't want to touch it. I believe the opposite happens, in that when we want to turn the car around, when we want to change our mindset, we need to know where we are so we can get rid of the things we need to get rid of and then move forward and head in the right direction for your retirement.
Right. Every now and then that GPS says recalculating, and sooner or later you need to listen to it.
And that's that first call with a financial planner, a financial advisor, is to recalculate where you are and then to change it so that you can achieve the goals that you would like. At Acres Financial Group, we're local. We're independent. We don't report to a big company on Wall Street. We report to you. We do have offices in Forest Hill, Lutherville, and we meet clients all around the state and all around the Mid-Atlantic region, a lot of clients around the country, and even a few around the world. It's so easy to begin winning in retirement. Just give us a call and schedule your meeting with one of our team of advisors by calling 833-WIN-RETIRE. That's 833-WIN-RETIRE. We'll give you a call on Monday to schedule your free in-person meeting. Go to acresfinancialgroup.com or call us at 833-946-7384 to start planning for your retirement now. Did the American Revolutionary War begin before or after the Declaration of Independence was signed? We'll answer this when we return.
You're listening to a pre-recorded show. Welcome back to Winning in Retirement. Call 833-WIN-RETIRE now to schedule a visit with Brian and his team and begin winning in retirement. Once again, here's Brian Akers.
Welcome back to Winning in Retirement. I'm Brian Akers from Akers Financial Group, president and founder of Akers Financial Group. Here with me is Jeff Akers. Yes, he's my cousin, vice president of Akers Financial Group. Yep. And he was there from the founding of the company.
Akers Financial Group. Yes, absolutely. I was.
But not the founding of the United States of America.
No, I am not that old. Brian's older than me, so he's closer to it, but he's not there either.
All right, we welcome you back to our second quarter. Our show is called When is Your Independence Day? And so we got a great question to start off. Jeff wasn't a founder of the country, but what we want to do is ask him the question, did the American Revolutionary War begin before or after the Declaration of Independence was signed?
Oh, wow. I never really thought about that. I was just assumed we declared our independence and that started the war.
Right. So what happened was the Battle of Bunker Hill.
Okay.
And that was, I believe, June 17th, 1775. It wasn't until the next year was the Declaration of Independence signed.
Wow.
So it makes you think about, what were they thinking? Were they really thinking independence on June 17th?
Well, I think around Boston they might have been, but...
Well, they got a little upset about things, right?
Yeah, they were pretty upset. There was a lot going on up there.
They were upset about taxes.
Taxes, control, there was a lot of things they were upset about, but taxes was the kind of the primary one. Taxation without representation. That was their motto.
Yeah, so the idea here is this. When you think about the American Revolutionary War, that's what the 4th of July is all about, is celebrating independence. Independence from another empire controlling the whole idea of everything about that control, and the United States having their own control, their own say, state by state, and building a country based on what they believe in, not what another empire might believe.
Okay. So the war actually started before the Declaration of Independence, and then we declared our independence, but the war kept going.
Yeah, absolutely.
For a little while.
Yeah, it kept going and going and going for a long time, didn't it?
Yeah. Let's see. What was it? The Paris of Treaty. The Treaty of Paris.
Yeah, that's true. Well, right now what we're covering is really about this idea of the battle for the independence. So the battle for independence, if we think about our finances, in no way is it like war, but it is a battle on how to handle finances. How do you handle spending money each and every day?
Right.
Do you know where your money's going? Have you set money aside? Are you handling it properly? Those are the only ways to make sure you're going to be able to be financially independent someday.
Right. And the colonists, Bunker Hill was where they took their stand. When we start a job, maybe we find out that there's a 401k or something available, and we don't really know what we're doing, but we say, well, I really need to start saving money. I'm not sure what's going to happen, but I need to start saving money. Well, that's kind of our Bunker Hill. We just get started at that point.
Yeah, so the Declaration of Independence, there's like 5 people worked on it, like Benjamin Franklin and John Adams and Thomas Jefferson and a couple others. And it's always written a couple others in the history books.
Right. The unimportant people.
Yeah, no, there's a lot of work to be able to put those down in writing. Yep. The amazing thing about America is that we're very blessed to be here. We're very blessed to have the concepts of talking about a retirement.
Oh, yes.
Rather than talking about a survival or where you're going to eat tomorrow.
Right.
We're talking about things that might seem frivolous to many other countries.
Right. Yeah, we are very fortunate here in the United States.
And what's neat when we're talking about financial independence is that we have the ability to save money, grow money, invest money for ourselves. That money is our money. We can then use it as we see fit. We have the ability to earn retirement, pensions, and other things throughout our career. There's some Social Security that we might be having and might get as we retire. There's all kinds of things going on. But financial independence, I believe, is truly your choice. It's people that are listening to the show. It's your choice to be financially independent someday, and so you have to do something about it. Right. Our comment would be this. In a first meeting, we want to come together, talk to you, and then we want to say, let's go. Let's get started and declare that, yes, you're going to be financially independent someday. You might be able to be financially independent today. You're just not quite sure about it yet.
Right.
You might not know it yet until we go through the numbers. Like I had one of those recently where the client came in, a great saver, very conservative. They know what they're doing. They enjoy their jobs. And I'm like, well, you've done the hardest thing, which is you have no debt at all. You paid for the kids' colleges. That's all done. What else do you want to do? What are your goals? What do you want to accomplish in life? And then they said, well, we need to think about that. Need to talk about it. But they had invested wisely. They put their money in the stock market over a long period of time, saved a lot of money to retirement. And the financial numbers are going to be, they are financially independent today. And then they get to pick when they want to retire. And then when I start talking tax planning and Roth conversions and all these other things that we can do to pay less tax in the future, that's a lot of fun because they did all the work. That client did it before they ever came in to see us.
Right. They already had good financial habits when they came in.
Yeah.
Sometimes folks come in and we have to help them develop those good financial habits, but it is nice when someone comes in and already has them in place.
So when you hear a financial show, you've done one good thing. You're listening to a financial show.
Right.
A financial show that's going to help you think about where you are. The next thing you got to do is you got to do something about it. You need to understand where your money is. You need to set that money aside, make sure you understand all the aspects. And that's what a financial planning advisor, a coach coming alongside, will add value by providing a way for you to get better and better each and every day. One way to tell is by tracking your net worth. Also by, I think tracking your net worth is one of the better places to do a scoreboard on your finances.
Right. That and your cash flow. Do you have more coming in every month so you can save some? than you're spending. That's an important way to build your net worth. We want that net worth to get bigger and bigger as we're building towards retirement and financial independence.
Yeah, so the idea is this. The Declaration of Independence was put together when they all came together. They officially got an army, officially got George Washington to be in charge, and then they officially went to fight fight harder, and actually had a really rough winter right off the bat in Valley Forge.
But they coordinated their efforts
absolutely
at that point.
Yeah, they did, and that. The idea is that battle was a great battle for the independence here. It also led to other things around the world as Great Britain lost sort of their empire piece by piece over time.
Right.
But here in the United States, what happened was my opinion, capitalism has just been developed over the years, and that capitalism is really a big piece of you saving your money for your long-term future. Putting money aside that you can actually have for your own retirement, whatever your goals may be.
Right. Capitalism is you have money, you have capital, and you can use that however you want. So you can use that to invest in something, to grow your capital. You can use it to buy things that you want, whether it be a house or food. People kind of like to have that too.
Yeah, it's not reliance on someone else paying you things as gifts, like as a benefit. Some people will need that because of life circumstances. They need help, and that's what I think government should do, is help provide for that. The idea of us receiving money as we work, we do need to save. From day one, you got to save and put money into your own future. I think you need to invest in stocks, especially at a younger age. I think you should do a Roth IRA. All of these things help us get there. Some people say, well, I can't save money. And my thing is, let's look at your budget. We'll find $50.
Right. Let's start building that good habit that's going to get you to independence.
Yeah, that good habit. When you say a good habit, what do you mean generally by that?
Well, setting some money aside, whether it's $50, $100, setting something aside. Start that habit of saving something. And then over time, you can grow what you're saving. As you develop that habit of setting something aside, it can become more and more over time. Some people, they're young and they start making a bunch of money, and they're like, oh, I've got too much money. I want to save a bunch of money. And for them, they can save 10 years, 20 years, whatever, and they'll have enough to be financially independent because they started with a lot early on. But most people aren't like that. Most people are going to start small and then build over time as their career grows.
Yeah, I believe you look at your checkbook, you can see where your priorities are.
Yeah, that's true.
If you save first, pay yourself first, save for retirement, if you give and are charitable and then live off the rest, that's what we recommend. If you live life the other way, where I'm going to save whatever's left each month,
you'll never save anything.
No matter what you make. There'll never be enough left over to save, with the mindset of saving being an afterthought, not the first thought.
Right. I remember trying that strategy, and it didn't work.
No. Many people try that strategy, even those that make a lot of money. Oh, I'll have extra money. I'll just save that.
They don't have extra money because they find a way to spend it.
And what's amazing, though, people, when they get started in their life, their career, their first job, many times they go out and start buying all these things, living up to a lifestyle that's actually above the paycheck they already have to start with, and they're behind from the start.
Right.
And the hardest part is to give up things, to organize and get set with what your normal is, with those habits in place, then build.
Right. And like you said, they start out behind, then they get a raise, and instead of thinking, oh, now I can finally live at my income level, they think, oh, I can do more stuff now. And so they increase their spending level again.
Okay. So successful people understand they want to be financially independent. They're going to declare their Independence Day, and they want that as soon as possible.
Right.
Some people, younger people in their 20s, they say, oh, I want to retire at 40, 45, 50. And I said, oh, that's great.
Right.
This is all the work you got to do to get there.
Right.
And there's certain ways of saving, so you can use your money prior to 59 and a half. All part of planning. Now, the longer we work, the older we are, and we got to think, well, I want to retire. I might have to retire. I don't think I have enough. How do I get there? And then it's a battle of, do you save more or just purely just try to get rid of debt, reduce your expenses so that what you've saved becomes what you can afford to live on?
Right. And we are kind of conditioned that we have to retire at 59 and a half because that's what the government says with all these retirement plans. But like Brian said, we can do some other things to retire sooner.
Absolutely.
Be independent.
Yeah. At Acres Financial Group, we want you to take advantage of the opportunity of meeting with a financial advisor to talk about your own Independence Day. Your Independence Day is really about planning, and then one day you come in and then all of a sudden there's enough money saved. There is your bills, your budget, you know what you need, and the two meet. And then those two meet, and then we manage throughout those retirement years. Now, that is retirement planning. Now, financial independent planning is really the mindset of getting to a point where you choose to work rather than you have to work. So go ahead and give us a call for a free consultation with one of our team of advisors by calling us at 833-WIN-RETIRE. You schedule an in-person meeting with one of our team of advisors. That's 833-WIN-RETIRE, 833-946-7384, or visit our website at acresfinancialgroup.com. Scroll down to the bottom of our homepage and schedule a meeting right there. So go ahead and call us at 833-WIN-RETIRE or go to our website, acresfinancialgroup.com. How long was the war for American independence? We'll answer that in a moment.
You're listening to a pre-recorded show. Welcome back to Winning in Retirement. Call 833-WIN-RETIRE now to schedule a visit with Brian and his team and begin winning in retirement. Once again, here's Brian Akers.
Indeed. Welcome back to Winning in Retirement. I'm Brian Akers. Here with me today is Jeff Akers. We are both certified financial planner practitioners from Akers Financial Group, and we welcome you to our second half of our Winning in Retirement radio podcast. And we have a great day today because we're talking about when is your Independence Day.
Oh, we love that.
We don't call 4th of July 4th of July. We call it Independence Day.
That's right.
So happy Independence Day, America.
Yes.
That's the best way to put it.
That is the best way to put it. Happy Independence Day.
All right, Jeff, I know you probably already know the answer because you read the script. But imagine before you read the script today that this question was, how long was the war for American independence?
See, it's kind of funny because in my mind, all wars last 5 years.
5 years?
Yeah.
Okay.
I know that's wrong, but that's just what happens in my mind.
Yeah.
So I assume 5 years.
All right, so 5 years. So the hardest part would be is that we think about the War of American Independence actually starting before the Declaration was signed. Mm-hmm. So that was, 1775.
Yeah.
But all the uprising beforehand, like Boston Tea Party was 73 and Boston Massacre was 70. All kinds of things that led up to things.
Right.
But then the American Revolutionary War went all the way to Yorktown, and then Yorktown was October. I look at my notes. October 19th, and that was 79, I believe. No, 81.
Yeah,
81 it was. That's right. And then your Paris of Treaty, I think you called it earlier in the show. The Treaty of Paris, when actually officially became America, recognized by England.
Okay, that's when England admitted that they were leaving.
Yeah, they already lost 2 years before. But September 3rd, 1783 was the official end of everything.
So if we start with the Declaration of Independence, 1776, and we end at Yorktown, 1781, my 5 years is right.
Yeah. Yeah, very true.
Of course, those aren't the real start and finish dates.
The weird thing is that England sent 34,000 troops originally to fight America when they first started.
Yeah, it won't take much to put down those little colonists.
Yeah, I'm glad they were thinking that way. All right, cool. I'm sorry. If you can't listen to a financial show, you're wondering, why are we talking about this kind of history? And the reason we do is that the idea of independence is we all have that in us. We want to be independent. We want to be able to wake up on the day and do what we want to do.
Yes.
Most of us call that our retirement years.
Yeah, but we can also call that freedom, which is independence.
Right. And so the idea of financial independence is where you've saved, you've done the time at work, you built your portfolios, you paid off your debts, you built your budget, you got your house ready, everything's organized to where you could walk away from your job if you wanted to.
Right. If you work, it's because you want to, but you could pick a day. I mean, I've had clients say, I like my job right now, but I'm getting ready to get a new boss. I'll see how they are, and maybe I'll stay, maybe I won't.
or they say, they're upgrading our computer system, and I don't want that test. I don't want to go through that class. I don't want to learn these new things.
Right. I'm out of here.
And this has happened for all 30 years of my career. I mean, there was the old 1999, the computers are all going to fail.
Oh, yeah.
I might as well just retire. I'm not dealing with that. Then there was the concept of a personal device that people would have to carry in their job instead of paperwork.
Right.
And I'm not learning that.
Right.
And then there's the I'm not going to use that internet thing.
So those changes are coming. There'll be another one, coming down the pike. But if you're not prepared, then you're stuck. You can't, if you're not financially independent, then you can't say, well, I'm not learning that. I'm going to stop now. You have to learn the new thing just to keep going.
Yes.
So that's why we want you to plan.
Absolutely. So we think about Declaration of Independence. That's like your first meeting with a financial planner. You declare you want to retire someday and be independent. The next thing you do is you start battling.
Right.
And you battle the war of becoming financially independent.
Right. We wisely plan our battle.
And then you get to a point where you have the Treaty of Paris or whatever you want to call your final day at work when you give them that letter saying, I'm resigning in 2 weeks or I'm going to retire in a month. That's your actual peace treaty, I guess. and you
they finally agree to it. That's probably the actual peace treaty.
Yeah, then you go home and you retire and you get to do what you have planned to do in retirement years, whatever that may be.
Right. The goal, kind of like America's goal with the Treaty of Paris, was to get England to recognize that America was now independent, not subject to England anymore. Yeah. Well, when you retire, your goal is to get the employer to recognize you're not subject to them anymore.
Yeah, but the problem with that little story is that Battle of 1812, they came back anyway.
Well, yeah, they did. And they burned the White House down, but that's another story.
And part of Havre de Grace, I think.
Oh, yeah. They burned Havre de Grace to the ground.
All right, so we're not here talking about history. We're talking about financial independence. Have you thought about it? The younger you are, the easier it is to be financially independent by other ages, later ages, because you have time.
Right. Time was wonderful.
Time value of money is one of the best things. If you allow your money to work for you, your money needs to work by putting in the stock market. You can't sit on the sideline and try to guess the markets. You need to be consistently buying, dollar cost averaging, buying every month out of your paycheck into the market, into a broader market, and build your portfolio.
Right. I remember the 1990s when everybody was a genius and they're all day trading and all. Mm-hmm. Everybody didn't want to work anymore. They just wanted to day trade. And then the tech bubble burst and everybody got a job after that. Yeah,
well, that was the tech bubble. That's the beginning of the internet, basically the internet age, and all those companies were getting started. There's a lot of great buys, but not all of them worked out. There's stocks like that every day. There's in stock market currently, it's all about AI, and then the problem is will they actually make money?
Right.
So a couple companies will do extremely well. A few will be bought up because they have great technology. Right. Ultimately, AI will keep changing and changing and changing, and it will affect our day-to-day lives like it already has.
Right. There'll be some turnover, but keep in mind that day trading, picking a stock and thinking this is going to be my home run is different than investing, planning and investing for retirement.
Yeah, so the idea is this, that the only way to be financially independent is to save and grow your money because we don't know the future of industries, the future of your job, the future of what you're planning on doing. We know that if you have the money saved and you're letting it grow and you're diversifying and paying off debts, you're getting yourself in a better financial situation to handle whatever comes and to give you the choices for you to be independent from the job you have. Rather than, I have to get that paycheck. I need it Friday. I wish they paid me Thursday because I need it on Thursday.
Right. But that's why you come in and see us and we help you plan out what to do. What's the next steps, how to invest, making sure you've got insurances in place and everything else to protect yourself so that your independence isn't ruined by something happening.
Absolutely. So this is it. Your financial independence, it's a daily battle to build that up. We want you to begin planning and understanding where you start, wherever you are now, we got to make that next step. You do need to know where you are. We call that building your financial strategy, your financial fingerprint, and then we take that and we build strategies that help you win. Win is winning in retirement because you did all the work in the past. How you get there is just a process of saving and prioritizing financial decisions. We do believe it's never too late to improve your finances because you can make it better by a concentrated effort at all times.
Right. Just make the next right choice, and we can help you with letting you know what that next right choice is.
All right. When's the last time you said that to a client?
maybe 2 days ago.
All right, so just don't name names. We can call them Fred and Wilma. We're meeting with them, and what prompted that?
Well, they're setting money aside, but they're putting it into the bank because they want money in the bank. And I'm talking to them about, you don't know how long you're going to live, and for money that's 10 years out, our biggest risk is inflation. And so we need to have some money that's invested in stocks. And so the next right choice is to take some of this money and put it into stocks for that long term so that you can counteract inflation or keep up with inflation.
Yeah, I didn't quite use that comment. I think you used the words the next right choice. Yeah, so whatever you've done, what's the next right thing to do? Yeah, so I had a conversation with a couple that are small business owners, and they're thinking about retiring or selling, or and they have some real estate, they have a business and all that, and they're trying to figure out what to do first. And I said, well, do you really want to retire? And they're like, oh, not really, but we're not sure if we can. I said, well, one of the things is we can imagine us being retired now. What do you need to live off of? Mm-hmm. And the reality with small business, the business might pay for a lot of things. If the business is no longer there, what is this all going to cost? Right. So it's not fun to figure out what your bills are, but the only way to know that you're okay to sell and then sell at a certain price, and after you pay your capital gains, it'll be okay.
Right.
You got to work the numbers, right?
Right, and that's why we're here, to help you work the numbers that you might not be thinking about.
Because what happens with a lot of small business owners, they keep it going because it's that whole transition to relying on just money, not their sweat and their job. It's hard because a lot of it's tied into that. It could be a vehicle, it could be cell phones, it could be health insurance, it could be just a little bit of everything.
Right. And getting out is hard to do.
Absolutely. And if you want to pass the baton to a kid, all of a sudden they get your money. Right. And it's like, oh, that was great.
Yeah, that worked out really well for my kid.
Yeah, but if you sell it, did you sell it for a right price? And is that enough for you to be okay?
Right. So make sure that you've got the plan in place so that you know what you need, and you're going to have what you need to be independent.
All right, so this quarter we're talking about how long the war for American independence was, 1775 to 1783, when the peace treaty was finally signed and officially over at that time. Of course, we'd already celebrated after Yorktown. I guess it's like a championship of any type. It's over. Move to the next.
And now looking back on it, we celebrated Yorktown, but at the time they were like, "Oh, what's next?"
Yeah, where are they coming from? Yeah,
right.
So the idea is this: when is your Independence Day? When is your financial Independence Day? What is that going to look like for you? Well, we want your retirement to be very special for you, because we all know the best part of retirement is getting your time back, where you decide how to use it. Before retirement, your time is tied up with other commitments, mainly your job and all these other things. A lot of that goes away in retirement. Your time is now consumed by things that you want to do. It's so easy to begin winning in retirement. Go to our website at acresfinancialgroup.com, scroll to the schedule a meeting section, and let us know you'd like to schedule a free consultation with one of our team of advisors. That's acresfinancialgroup.com, or you can call us at 833-WIN-RETIRE. That's 833-WIN-RETIRE. We'll give you a call on Monday to schedule your free in-person meeting. Also, you can go to our website at acresfinancialgroup.com or call us at 833-946-7384 to start planning for your retirement now. How does the Declaration of Independence apply to winning in retirement? We'll explain that when we return for the fourth quarter of Winning in Retirement.
You're listening to a pre-recorded show. Welcome back to Winning in Retirement. Call 833-WIN-RETIRE now to schedule a visit with Brian and his team and begin winning in retirement. Once again, here's Brian Akers.
Welcome back to Winning in Retirement. Welcome back to the fourth quarter of Winning in Retirement. Today's show is called When is Your Independence Day? We celebrate Independence Day. We're not the biggest idea of talking about 4th of July. So I brought in Jeff Akers. Jeff Akers is a vice president and financial advisor here at Akers Financial Group. Welcome to the fourth quarter, Jeff.
It's winning time.
It's winning time. Every fourth quarter, you got to win the game by properly controlling the clock, pressing if you're behind. Do you feel like you're behind right now, or are you ahead?
Hey, the end of the score at the end of the third quarter doesn't matter. It's the end of the score at the end of the fourth.
Okay,
That's all
so
that matters.
You're sounding like you're behind a little bit.
Time to mount the comeback.
Okay. All right. So here in the fourth quarter, we're just going to try to bring together what our show's been all about today. And that is people need to think about their own independence, their financial independence. By seeing a financial advisor, you're going to declare your Independence Day, when you're going to have enough money to be okay, and where you go to work the next day because you choose to, not because you have to. Ultimately, this leads to winning in retirement throughout all those retirement years because you have everything in place that it takes to be successful in retirement. And that's what this show is about. If you missed any of it, you can go to our website at acresfinancialgroup.com. Hit the radio podcast tab, and right there you can get the past shows and hear the show again. I'll just go right there if you want to hear it again. Or you can go to a podcast site, type Winning in Retirement.
Right. So, you might have missed some of these history nuggets that we've been giving you today. So just go back and check them out. All
right, Jeff, that history nugget triggers the question for the fourth quarter. How does the Declaration of Independence apply to winning in retirement?
Ooh.
And so what I got to do is I got to read I'm going to read a little bit of Declaration of Independence.
I was going to say, you already gave me a hard time about taking stealing your fire. So
Yeah, that's why I'm not going to let you talk right now. So like part of the Declaration of Independence says, we hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal, that they are endowed by their Creator with certain inalienable rights, that among these are the life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness.
Oh, wow. That sounds like a really good retirement there.
Exactly right. Life, liberty, and pursuit of happiness. How else can we describe what retirement should look like for us?
Right. You want to live. That's supposed to be the golden years. Go do the things you never got to do.
Yeah, and then when I talk to people about financial planning, the reason we want to be financial planning early is because we want to balance that life and pursuit of happiness. We want to start early. Now, some people want to start very, very early, and they don't mind going deep in debt for it. And they pay for that vacation for years and years to come.
Yeah, but I think about that first one, life, and just living the way you want to live in retirement. And I think about someone who, she saved her whole life. She was fine. The plan, she was running the plan. She was in good shape. But there was a trip coming up overseas, and she was like, I've been invited to this trip. I just don't know if I can do it. And, we looked at the numbers, and I was like, go. You have got to go. This is the trip you've wanted to take your whole life. Mm-hmm. Go do it. Take pictures, and then come back and show me.
And that's because they had an advisor for a long time, and you knew what she wanted based on what she's told you.
Right.
You're not making it up, and you're not a travel agent on the side trying to sell her where did she go? Do you remember?
She went over to, well, you wouldn't go there now, but it's the Middle East.
Oh.
She went to Israel, Jordan, that area.
That's good. I think about people that put it off too long. And I try to make them have a balance of things. When you know your finances, you then can make decisions on now versus later. I think you got to do certain travel when you're healthy, understanding that not all things are going to stay perfectly healthy forever. We got to plan the money and the health and the opportunity, the time, all of it.
The opportunity, when it comes up, you want to be able to seize it because, like you said, it could be that your health isn't as good next year, so you can't go next year. Or it could be like, we talk about Israel now with wars and stuff. You don't want to go there right now. So You never know what's going to change. Now,
finances for many people, and a lot of people probably listening right now, it's a stressful thing about finances. It's not a pursuit of happiness is their finances. Right. It's a part that is the stress because they know in that mailbox, they pull out the bills, open their email, there's constantly reminders your bills are coming up, or a reminder that you're getting close to your limit, or you missed your payment, whatever the notice or alert might be, and you're sort of overwhelmed by it. Controlling your finances, knowing where your money's going, and then working it out piece by piece, getting things under control, has got to be a priority for it to change, for it to get better. If it doesn't become a priority, the financial independence won't happen for you. But it can happen for many people once you turn the direction of what you're thinking about, turn the direction of where your money goes, and put your money to use, make it work for you instead of you working for your money.
Right. The happiest clients that I have a few bills, not a lot, and as soon as they come, they just pay them, and then they don't think about them anymore.
Well, some people say, I can afford a mortgage in retirement, and I'm like, when people have their house paid off and they walk through our doors, I usually say you can retire because that's our biggest expense.
Right.
Many times we need that mortgage payment money to pay the health insurance in their retirement years. So if you have a mortgage and you have a $1,200 a month health care budget, all of a sudden that could eat a lot of your money away.
In essence, you have two mortgages then.
Absolutely. Some people do live beyond their means, and they have to address some of that and think about, should they downsize to make the budget fit what they saved?
Right. They end up having to scramble to make things work. And we don't want you in that position. We want you to plan ahead so that you're not scrambling. You're winning in retirement.
Yeah. Now, if you're a great saver, and we have a lot of clients that are just great savers, so like, what do we do next? How do we make it more efficient? How do we save more, keep more? They've already bought in to being financial independent. They have that mindset, and we just want everyone else to understand they can have that mindset also. It doesn't mean just make more and more money, because more and more money is, I've never found to be the solution. It's about what you keep.
Right.
What happens if you make, say, $40,000 a year and you live off of that and save off of that, and things are all what you want? The amazing thing is you can retire very early in life because your expense is so low, you're going to be able to get there a lot faster.
Right. And if you make more than the $40,000 and you save that extra, then that puts you in a position to be at a higher standard of living even when you get to retirement.
Yeah. So today we're talking about the 4th of July, the American Revolutionary War. We talked about the Declaration of Independence, all kinds of things. And I did mention the Boston Tea Party in 73.
Oh, yeah. That happened before Bunker Hill even.
Yeah. And so I'm thinking that I want to call it, our version of Boston Tea Party is when we do something called a Roth IRA.
A Roth IRA, okay.
Yeah, so it's like you see them raising taxes. You know the tax is coming, and they keep doing that, raising prices and charging more and more tax. How do we avoid that to the future? Well, instead of throwing the tea in the harbor, throw your money in a Roth IRA.
Okay.
You pay tax now, and then that burden of tax to the future is not there at all, not going to be there in the future. And so the Roth IRA is a pay tax once, never again under the current law.
Wow.
Is that too deep?
Well, no, because I do this every day. But
yeah.
But that idea of paying tax now and never again. And I was telling a client a few days ago that there are a few things that I look at. Number one is, if you're going to convert to a Roth IRA, do you have the cash to pay the taxes? And that's part of the planning process, is figuring out how to pay the taxes on the conversion. So that's one thing. Second thing is, we look at your tax brackets and figure out what's the right amount to convert. You know, if you've got a huge IRA, it doesn't mean you convert it all at once. You might, but odds are that we're going to do it in pieces over time, and you can do it in pieces over time. And then the third thing that I look for is, you know, in the market, sometimes opportunities present themselves when the market goes down, and that presents a great time to convert. So being ready for that. We don't necessarily want to wait for a market downturn to convert. We want to get some done each year, but that can present an opportunity, and you just want to be ready.
Yeah, I was actually doing a public seminar talk workshop we were doing, and I was just going over the idea of there's really not an age limit to Roth conversions. There's not an age limit to Roth contributions. If it fits your situation, I think you should examine it and do it. Mm-hmm. If you are retired, you can still move money from Roth into from IRA to a Roth, and that's called conversion. If you're working even part time, you can put a little bit of money away.
Right.
Just getting some money set aside and moving it to tax free does change the future of the bills.
Right.
It saves money.
When you hear Roth, just think tax free. Down the road, you're going to be independent of taxes.
All right. So, Jeff, I'm thinking about you and about financial independence for you. Now, there's things in life, like a house mortgage. Now, do you want to have cars, all your debts paid off by retirement, or do you go with I can afford it? Like, what kind of barriers to retirement do you see people have when it comes to financial planning, basic independence?
Yeah, for most folks, debt is the biggest barrier to independence, whether it's mortgage, car, or other debt out there. Mm-hmm. So becoming debt-free is I'll call it the gold standard. That's where you want to be financially independent, because now you're not, the Bible talks about the person who borrows is the slave to the one who lended. So I'm not a slave to anyone when I don't have debt.
Now, I'm more of a balanced kind of guy when it comes to paying your debt off versus building your investments. I think you got to do both. Investments do better when they're given time in the market over time. It's not trying to timing in the market. It's time invested. So the idea of having a plan to reduce the debt as quickly as possible, especially if the rates are 30% or something.
Right.
The lower interest debt, paying that over time by a certain date makes sense. Building this all together, having money that could pay it off is also good, depending on its rate of return. All kinds of decisions are made in the financial planning process to help you reach your goals and to know when your Independence Day is.
Right. And sometimes, getting out of a mortgage isn't necessarily you have to pay it all off, but you're going to retire and then you wanted to move and you downsize. And so then you end up without a mortgage by doing it that way.
Yeah, then you always have other bills, the real estate tax, the homeowners, everything else just seems to rise at all times.
Yep.
All right. Thanks for an excellent show, Jeff.
It was a lot of fun talking about history, American history, and Independence Day.
Enjoy your Independence Day, Jeff, and everybody else. If you have any information that you need or any question, just go to our website or just give us a call, because we want you to win in your retirement. So take advantage of the opportunity to begin planning with us at Acres Financial Group. To schedule your free meeting with one of our team of advisors, go to our website at acresfinancialgroup.com. Scroll to the Schedule a Meeting section and let us know you'd like to schedule your free meeting. That's acresfinancialgroup.com, or you can call us at 833-WIN-RETIRE. That's 833-WIN-RETIRE. We'll give you a call on Monday to schedule your free in-person meeting with one of our team of advisors. Start planning for your retirement now. Go to acresfinancialgroup.com or call us at 833-946-7384. Thank you for listening. I'm Brian Akers from Akers Financial Group, and we want you to be winning in retirement.
You've been listening to Winning in Retirement with your host, Brian Akers of Akers Financial Group. Akers Financial Group offers securities through Archedios Capital, an SIPC and FINRA member firm. Advisory services are provided through Archedios Wealth. Akers Financial Group and Archedios do not share any common ownership. Neither Archedios nor Akers Financial Group provides tax or legal advice. Advice given on winning in retirement is general in nature, and one should seek further advice from their financial advisor, broker, attorney, and or tax accountant before investing. Be sure to read each prospectus carefully to understand all the risks associated with each investment. Examples and scenarios shared are meant to be for illustrative purposes only. Past performance is not indicative of future results.